Konami Studios. Drakkon New Dawn Issue 2, the latest and greatest from the Power Rangers at Boom Studios that I'm still behind on. And I keep saying in every video I do on these books that I'm going to go back and read them, and I promise you I will, and we will maybe talk about it on here, we'll see. But Drakkon New Dawn, we ended last issue, we got the man in the deadlock out, and now we are realizing certain things, that maybe some evil lady from space is coming down to attack. We got it this time. I wasn't sure in the last issue, but now we get confirmation that the lady coming down to attack is Eclipta. I'm not too familiar with that character, and some people have told me in the comments who it is, but I'm like, okay. I'm on board. I'm very excited to see what's going to be. I wasn't really sure what to expect from this issue. I know it was a 3-issue miniseries, so this is the halfway point pretty much, where some things are going to happen or some things aren't. A lot happened in this issue. I think it was okay. I don't think it was as good as the last one, just because it went some directions I'm like, really? You could have done a more interesting story if you went in a different direction or you curved a different way, but it is what it is. And I can live with it. I just expected maybe something a little more. That's about it. So we do manage to get the helmet off of our prisoner from Drakkon's old reign, and you'll never guess who it is. Somebody I thought it was going to be, but everyone in the comments said, nah, it's going to be Andros. No, it's Jason. We discovered it's Jason. The original guy is back. I'm not sure what happened to him in the original story, but I guess some people were saying he died with Zordon or fought with Zordon and something happened to them. That sounds a little more interesting. I did expect it to be Jason or Billy. Now that I see it, I'm like, I wish it wasn't. It's an okay idea. I understand why you're doing it. The original Power Rangers are going to sell a lot more than they will if you do somebody else. And I'm not saying that's a negative towards any of the other groups of Power Rangers. It's just Mighty Morphin gets sales. They always have. They are killing it in the action figure industry. They're killing it in other industries right now. So that's kind of where the money needs to be. So having it be Jason, fine. I get it. I'm okay with it. I don't think much of it. It's just something that happens. He doesn't really understand the new world. He's like, why is Scorpina here? Why are we working with these Rangers? And you see that Kimberly's now in charge, and everything's kind of like, okay, we got to put aside all our differences for the time being because we have to go stop Eclipta because she's coming down. I guess she's working for the Dark Spectre, and she's going to unleash hell upon this earth. So we have to do a mission to take her down and stop everything from happening. And while we're doing that, Jason is kind of saying like, no, Kimberly, Zach, Trini, you guys got to get your old Ranger coins, and we have to literally become Power Rangers again, and that's the way to stop it. And Kimberly's kind of the one that's like, we're not teenagers anymore. There's different ways to do this. I'm not taking the power away from anyone else just because you just feel like you need to be a Ranger again. So this Jason's a little bit different, and leading me to think, is this actually the real Jason, or is this perhaps, this is just an idea I'm going to float out there. Perhaps this is a mind-controlled or a clone or something that has the original Drakkon's memories in it or something like that. I could see that being an angle they take here. We'll have to wait and see. There's some moments where, we get some history from Jason's perspective of like what Drakkon did to him and how he was like imprisoned and what it meant to him to be coinless and all that kind of stuff, and how Drakkon killed Rita, and that kind of like hits Scorpina in a weird way because she's thinking that the death of Rita would kind of unite her and Drakkon as these friends and solidify their teamwork, but it kind of just shows you that, oh, he's lying to everyone and he's not really a good guy. So of course we knew that already. We pretty much knew that. So Jason just kind of realizes all these people are in over their heads and kind of dumb. So he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave. I'm not working for you fascists. I'm out. Later, Gators, and he just leaves. So now it's the original team minus the prisoner who have to go attack Eclipta, and you see there's a lot of tension in there. There's some cool moments between Scorpina and Adam, who's a guy we met in the last issue, and Adam's just kind of trying to like help her grieve with knowing that Rita was killed by Drakkon. And it's a nice moment. I like seeing that chemistry is really interesting because you see like Scorpina's not trying to be vulnerable, but she's kind of willing to let herself have some emotions when it comes to this guy. And it's just a nice swell moment between the two of them. I'm really enjoying it. Kimberly, Zach, and Trini did not do a lot in this issue, which I'm kind of like, that's It's surprising, but I get it. So they ready themselves to go attack Eclipta. All the forces are in play. Everyone's ready to attack, but Eclipta kind of gets the upper hand. It's not a long battle. You know, the battle I don't think is the main thing about this entire story. So it's a couple of pages. I think it's like 4 pages. It's like 2 big splash pages. And it's nice just seeing everyone fighting. You know, Scorpina kind of helps out certain people, and Zack and Trini are doing their thing. Everyone's just having some cool moments, and ultimately it doesn't end in a really great way. They kind of lose for a bit, but luckily they managed to fight back with the power of teamwork and friendship. But of course, in order to save Scorpina, Adam has to die, which I'm like, oh, but you're doing so much cool stuff with Adam. I get it's a 3-issue mini, but you couldn't like keep him to do something else. So Adam dies. Now it's another loss for Scorpina, and it kind of just solidifies this idea that she's probably going to wreck shop later on or do something scary. I'm not really sure. They defeat Eclipta pretty easily to the most part, but then she kind of still like here comes hellfire, everything's coming down, they have to retreat, and as they go down to the retreat, they realize there's a lot of shit going on in the city. And the 2 factions are fighting again. It's the Coinless and the Ranger Guards. They're all kind of fighting. And now some of the coins aren't working, because we know from Jason earlier that if you distribute the coins, they become weaker to each person that uses them. But if one person houses it, it becomes very powerful. So the battle's raging on. They are now losing to Eclipta after almost beating her. Adam's dead. The factions are fighting. And who's responsible for all this but Jason himself, who comes there standing in the Red Ranger garb, being an asshole. This leads me to think it's not Jason, because I don't think Jason would be this big of a dick. Then again, he might be. I don't know. He's been in there for probably a long time. We'll have to wait and see what happens with him. But it was okay. I mean, interesting reveal. I do think another character or somebody less than Jason or Billy could have been an interesting angle to play up to. I said it already. Jason's going to sell people on this book. More people will be like, oh, the Red Ranger's returning? Yeah, I'll read it. I don't know. It's just I thought it originally because I don't know enough about the lore to say anything otherwise, but now that I see it, I'm like, okay, this is it. Okay. So Drakkon New Dawn issue 2, it's a solid book. It's not my favorite of the run so far, and I hope it finishes on a high note. I hope we don't get a situation where it's going to be Red Ranger starts to become evil, because if it does, it's going to be very cliche and uninteresting. And I wish Adam didn't die. I wish there was some better stuff with him and Scorpina going on. But aside from that, pretty good stuff you're seeing for all the characters. I'm going to give Power Rangers, or is it Ranger Slayer? Either way, Drakkon New Dawn a 6 out of 10. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.